So let me ask you something. What if your webcam wasn't just watching you? What if it was judging you? Today, we're diving into the unregulated rise of AI that claims it can read your emotions, and maybe more importantly, why the rules just haven't caught up. And I know, that question might sound a little out there, like something from a sci-fi movie, but it's not. The tech for your webcam to do exactly that is already here, and believe me, it is spreading fast. In fact, think about this for a second. Your next big career move, that job interview you've been prepping for, the final decision might not even come from a person. It could come from an algorithm that's analyzing the curve of your lips or the specific pitch of your voice. So what we're really talking about here is a specific type of artificial intelligence, one that's designed from the ground up to read you, your feelings, your mood, your inner state. Now, the official name for this is affective computing. And really, at its core, it's all about building systems that can spot and even copy human emotion. It uses everything from cameras to microphones to try and figure out exactly how you're feeling at any given moment. Okay, so how on earth does a machine even begin to guess what a person is feeling? Well, you might think it's incredibly complex, but it's actually a surprisingly straightforward step-by-step cycle. It all kicks off by grabbing data, usually through a camera or a microphone. Then the AI starts pulling out key features. We're talking about things like the pitch of your voice or the specific shape of your smile. After that, it compares those features to a gigantic database of emotions that have already been labeled, and it slaps a classification on you, like happy or angry. And the final step? The system creates a response, maybe changing its tone or suggesting you buy a certain product. So, now that we kind of get how it works, the next big question is, who is actually using this technology, and what are they using it for? You might be a little surprised by the answers. And yeah, it's not just the big tech companies you'd expect. HR departments are using it in hiring, some schools are using it to track whether students are paying attention, market researchers use it to figure out how you really feel about a new movie trailer. And yep, even some government agencies are using it for things like security screenings. The main point here is this isn't some distant future we're talking about. This technology is already woven into our daily lives. It's in the software at work that's supposedly tracking your morale. It's in the ads that seem to just know you're having a bad day. And it's definitely in those automated customer service chats that can detect frustration in your voice. And it's getting incredibly personal. I mean, your smart home assistant might actually try to sound more empathetic if it thinks you're sad. Or your car could literally change the playlist because its sensors decided you seem a little stressed out. But this explosion in use comes with a massive problem. This entire field is pretty much a Wild West. It's unregulated. And that opens the door to some really serious dangers. This quote right here gets to the absolute core of the problem. We all know this, right? A smile can hide sadness, it can hide frustration, or it can just be, a polite thing you do. But can an AI really, truly tell the difference? And this is where it gets really messy. An AI might flag someone as dishonest just for looking away, when in their culture, that's actually a sign of respect. Or it could see someone staring into space and label them disengaged, when really they're just deep in thought. It could even misread the facial features of someone with a physical disability as a sign of being unhappy. The room for error here is just massive. All these potential errors really fall into 4 big buckets of risk. First off, the science itself is shaky. Second, these systems are known to be biased against different cultures, ethnicities, and people with disabilities, which leads straight to discrimination. Third, our most private, internal feelings are being turned into data points, which just destroys our privacy. And finally, all that data can be used to manipulate us. But maybe the most concerning thing of all is this. If an AI gets it wrong, if it costs you a job or flags you as some kind of risk, right now there is no standard legal way for you to fight back, to challenge its judgment. You're just stuck with a decision made by a black box. So all of this leads to a final, really critical thought about where this is all going. I mean, if we know we're being constantly judged by machines, how is that going to change us as people? There's this concept that experts are talking about called a social feedback loop. Basically, as these systems get more and more common, we might start changing our own behavior to get a better score. We might learn to put on the right kind of smile for that interview AI, or carefully control our tone for the customer service bot, all while hiding how we truly feel. And that really leaves us with one last question to chew on. In a world that is starting to literally score our emotions, are we eventually going to change how we actually feel on the inside? Or are we just going to get better at faking it for the machines that are always watching?